I like this song. Hey guys, so this video means a lot to me because diet is a very major part in why people are dying. 65% of all major diseases are diet related, and within the Black community we typically eat a very poor and unhealthy diet due to a lot of reasons. And before you get really defensive about this and think that I'm trying to shove my vegan beliefs on you, I am just trying to educate you on why we need to be eating a healthier diet and how this is going to help us as Blacks thrive, and our kids will be much healthier. And yeah, so it is very well known that high blood pressure is very common within Blacks. A lot of people do believe that Black people have a certain gene in us that makes us more sensitive to salt, and since a lot of foods that we eat contain excessive salt, crazy amount of salt, and we eat a lot of fried foods, that makes us more prone to high blood pressure, and high blood pressure obviously leads to heart attacks and strokes, which are killing many Blacks, especially in America. And first off, that off the bat, instead of taking pills and medications and going to the doctor and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on drugs to help your high blood pressure, all you have to do is stop eating foods that contain so much salt. Honestly, you don't have to, go plant-based overnight or anything, but you can definitely take some steps into reducing the amount of salt intake in your diet and reducing the amount of fried foods in your diet. Like, believe me, there are so much more foods out there that taste amazing, and they don't have to be fried in oil, and they don't have to be baked with oil and a whole bunch of salt and a bunch of additive ingredients that are extremely unhealthy for us. Soul food, I say this all the time, soul food is just repurposed slave food, okay? The food that we typically call soul food now is the foods that the slave masters would give the slaves. It was like leftover parts of animals that the slave masters didn't want to eat, so it was pretty much garbage to them. And that is what we call slave food now, just like pig's feet and just a lot of things dealing with pigs, just like gelatin. If anybody knows anything about gelatin, it's just like leftover parts of animals that the meat industry didn't need, and they just use that to make like this gooey type of ingredient that they put in marshmallows, like Rice Krispies, and in certain candies that have like the stickiness to it, like gummy bears and stuff. So that's pretty much what the slave masters did to slaves. They gave them the leftover parts of animals that they didn't want to eat, and now we glorify it. We call it soul food, and it is actually very, very unhealthy for us. So most fried foods contain MSG, and if you don't know what that is, it is something that they use to enhance the flavor of fried foods so that it is more appealing to us, because everybody knows that nobody wants to eat raw food, okay? Only real carnivores eat raw food. We have to season and marinate our chicken for hours, even days. We marinate it in plants and seasonings so that it can taste better, because we don't want just raw meat. Lions and bears and everything, when they go and hunt and attack an animal, they eat it raw. They don't pick and choose which parts of the animals to eat. They don't cook the animal because their bodies are naturally made to be able to digest raw meat, and they don't add flavors, they don't add seasonings to the meat. They don't add flavors to the meat. They just eat it all raw, all natural, right there and then, right after they killed it, with the blood and everything. Obviously, we aren't carnivores. We don't do that. We can't do that. We hunt with weapons, and we fish with fishing poles. We don't go inside the water and, grab the fish with our bare hands like bears do, like real carnivores do. So this just proves that we use all of these seasonings and everything just to enhance the flavor of foods that we honestly don't even really like. And that proves that we're not meant to be eating meat, and we're not meant to be eating all of this stuff that is killing us. So I know some of you guys may think that this is a reach, and you're gonna be like, white neighborhoods have this too, but in Black neighborhoods, especially poor Black neighborhoods, there are a lot of fast food franchises like McDonald's and Wendy's and Taco Bell and KFC and all of these places that sell absolute garbage to people who can barely afford or think that they can't afford some real food, because that food honestly is not real anymore. It is 2017. There are so many pictures and videos out there of people showing their McDonald's food, like they're smoking McDonald's French fries, they're dipping burgers in like acid and it's not changing. They leave McDonald's burger and fries out on the table for like 6 months, a year, and it doesn't change at all because there's so much preservatives in it. It is eating fake food. You're pretty much eating plastic. It's absolutely disgusting, and they target black people because they target poor black people, and we think that we're getting a deal. These like 4 for 4s, 5 for 4s, all of these deals, we think it's a deal and we think that it's so cheap and we're getting such a great price, but it's horrible. Like, it's just a better way to just kill us off. Percent preventable diseases if we feed them this nasty food. And I know some people are going to think that this is a reach, but it's really not. If you think about it, honestly, you can go to the store, go to the grocery store and buy some fruits, buy some vegetables, buy some beans, some nuts, some pasta, healthy, whole foods, grains, anything that is not McDonald's, anything that is not KFC. We need to stop eating at fast food places. I know it is very convenient, but convenience only means so much. Convenience can only justify so much. And a lot of places, if there's a Walmart there, if there's a McDonald's, there's probably like a Walmart or a Target or a Publix or some type of grocery store that you can go into. Yeah, it's convenient when you're driving to stop at a fast food place. They make it convenient so it's easy for us lazy people to not get out of our cars. Instead of driving up to McDonald's and ordering garbage, you can just go into the grocery store and buy a fruit salad or something if you need something real quick to eat. The conveniency is what they use to get to us. Laziness is what these companies use to get to us, to help kill us off. I say this all the time, more including just like the environment, but if we want to produce healthy kids, we are going to need to be healthy ourselves. And I know some people are like, well, my grandma is 90 years old and she's been eating a carnivore diet her whole life and she's perfectly healthy and she's perfectly fine, but obviously she doesn't represent every single human being in the world. But I'm not saying that, if you eat a carnivorous diet, you're going to die because of it shortly after. Obviously it takes a long time, and in the meantime you're taking pills and stuff because you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol, which cholesterol, by the way, is only found in animals. Okay, there is no cholesterol in whole foods. There's no cholesterol in peanuts and nuts. It is only in animals. So instead of doctors telling you to stop eating animals or at least reduce your intake of animals, they tell you to take a pill or take a drug to help with your cholesterol. It is only in animal foods. Eggs have the highest cholesterol out of everything, out of like pigs, cows, chickens, milk, cheese, ice cream, whatever. Eggs have the highest cholesterol. It is ridiculous the amount of cholesterol there are in eggs. If you look it up, the egg industry isn't even allowed to legally say that eggs are healthy or nutritious because they know how unhealthy it is, and it's also a hen's period. It is the result of when a hen gets her period. But anyway, they give us all of these drugs and all of these pills, which is just us spending more money to live longer. Like, we're living longer, but we're living longer with diseases and cancer and all these disorders and illnesses that are 100% preventable. That's the crazy thing, is that it's preventable, but we don't want to stop eating it. Like, we think that chicken tastes so good and that justifies the slaughter and the disgust of eating meat. Our bodies aren't naturally made to eat meat. We're not biologically made to eat meat. Sorry, not sorry, but that's why people get clogged arteries. Our intestines are long, so meat stays in our body longer than it's supposed to. And like a lion or a tiger or a bear, their intestines are shorter. The meat does not stay in their body for days like ours does. And in lions, they don't get clogged arteries. And I know I keep comparing ourselves to lions, and I'm doing it as to compare a herbivore to a carnivore in that meat. They don't get heart disease. They don't get diabetes. They don't get cancer. Why? Because they eat what's natural to their diet. There who have reversed cancer, have reversed diabetes. It's crazy. Like with a plant-based diet, people do not have diabetes anymore. Like there's people that used to take insulin every day. There's people who used to take pills every single day, multiple pills a day, and they stopped eating meat, dairy, and eggs, and now they're thriving. They have so much more energy. They don't have to take any drugs anymore. They don't feel bad. They're out running and riding bikes and living their lives and living longer and living healthier, and it's amazing. And if that doesn't convince you to eat a plant-based diet, I don't know what will. I am going to link below some documentaries, some presentation, articles, a bunch of stuff that you can look at, because obviously I am not a doctor, so you shouldn't really be listening to anything I say as for nutritional advice. But there are a lot of doctors, a lot of MDs who also promote a plant-based diet, and they'll be all linked below so you can check them out and form your own opinion on it. A plant-based diet is what is going to change the world. A vegan lifestyle is what is going to make this world a much better place. And thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think, even if you are already vegan, or you're thinking about being vegan, or if you're at least thinking about eating a vegan diet. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.